Hey all, what's up? Today we're gonna look at how to make a Migos type beat. Bear with me. It is my first how to make a type beat video, but I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Alright, so first we found this sample off of Splice. Just a basic sample. Let me get rid of that. Now, I put this in D sharp minor because that was the key of the sample. If you need to know how to do keys of samples, just look it up on YouTube. I'm not that technical. That's where I learned to do it. But we have this volume up on this sample, so it's slowly gaining. No plugins on this track. Next up, we have our classic electric piano. Tape delay is the only plugin on this track. Now for these, we are keeping the velocities pretty low throughout the whole thing to keep it more mellow. And then we add in this hi-hat. I can find them. There we go. Now with that hi-hat, we did take off the high end of it because it is pretty sharp on its own. I'll let you listen to it on its own and then I'll And finally, for atmosphere, we added this moody vinyl. This just adds to the atmosphere of the track. And then we have this FX riser just on the end. Again, both of these are from Splice. And it sounds like this. Now we started off with the verse. Let's move on to that verse. Same sample, except added piano bright as an EQ setting. I always like to start adding the melody elements and then I'll go with the more percussive elements. I added this 80s signature keyboard. And as you can see, I EQ'd out a lot of the high end just to make it more mellow. A lot of the high end, actually. And we're keeping the velocities relatively low even throughout the intro. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just like a relatively similar sound throughout the whole thing. Next, I added hi-hats. I always like adding hi-hats first. You can see the hi-hats. Same with the last one. We took out the high end again. And that really doles out the hi-hats, which I felt fit pretty well on this track. I always like to change it up in the second verse, just because I like to keep it interesting. I've listened to a lot of boring beats. It's just not my vibe. To keep it boring like that, I like to switch it up. Now we have the snare and the kick. relatively similar in terms of velocity. We change it up in the second verse. Mainly the kick just gets faster, and you'll add more notes compared to that first half of the verse. Here's that snare. With the vinyl and everything, it sounds like this. Yeah, you can see that hi-hat really speeds up there. Along with the kicks, if you notice. We got those back-to-back 16th notes. And that just really helps out with speeding, feeling like it's a rising to the chorus. And that gives a good vibe for when the chorus actually... Now, throughout that whole time, this white noise vinyl atmosphere stuff is rising. Now, for this sample, all it is we have a wider plug-in on it, and wider is just like free sausage fattener, basically. Not quite. All it does is it just choose how wide you want the stereo sound to be. And without wider. With wider. Yeah, you can definitely hear that vinyl in here. Now back to that keyboard. Velocity, as you see, is relatively low. Now velocity gains throughout here just because of this riser right here. It was kind of bleeding out this. It was bleeding out that last note because the riser was so loud, but I liked the riser volume. So I just increased the velocity of this note. And then she sounds like this. And there we are into that second verse. I thought this drop, the way that chord hit, I was like, oh my god, that's sick. We got this, like, I don't know what it'd be, just these two notes. It's not a chord, 2/3 of a chord. It's this D sharp and this G flat. And this verse is just the same as this last verse. On this track, I was kind of going for a Migos type vibe, you know. Yeah, I was kind of going for a Migos type vibe on this one. Yeah, like a more. This track actually really reminds me of Casper. It's Casper by Takeoff? Probably. And then we have, unlike the previous verse, we have this riser going into this last chorus. This riser is accompanied by this kick. This bass went unused, so I just left it in there. Now this kick slowly builds. First it starts out as single 8th notes, then it goes to 16th notes. We added the snare and this hi-hat throughout the whole thing, and the snare and the hi-hat, the snare doesn't come until later. But the hi-hat kind of does the same thing as the kick, where it starts off slow, slowly builds into it. Yeah, you can see this hi-hat rising. And then added with the chorus, we got this 80s signature keyboard back in there. And that's the same as from the last part of the chorus on this one. Now the white noise vinyl on this one is lower just because there was a lot of noise and I felt like it was just getting in the way, honestly. Just to be real with you. I should freestyle over this beat. I can't freestyle. Hey, I should. Next beat I'll do, I'll add ad-libs like that. But yeah, we see that keyboard come in there. And master track, you can see the volume start to fade out, and I really cut it hard just because I like more suspense in it. And just like back here, this rises again. Otherwise, this rises throughout the chorus section, slowly in here, or fast, more rapid up here, and it kind of tapers out. On the master track, for EQ, we just have a final mix hip hop on it under the master section. Yeah, I was just put it in because it makes it sound like a more full hip hop beat. It depends what you're going for though. I found I don't really like it on more experimental type beats. It's kind of just personal preference for final mix. That is how I made this Migos type beat. I hit up all the socials, you know what the deal is. So let me know any feedback you have. Have a good one. Peace. Oh yeah, full beat out now on YouTube. Enjoy.